This is your blind techno geek that explores iOS and Android, and today I have a channel update for you, as well as some thoughts on the Smart Vision 2 and the Unihertz Titan phone. First of all, I have COVID-19, so I'm laying in my bed filming. So this may be the last video I do for a while as I try to recover from this virus, depending on how I feel. So thoughts on the Smart Vision. I actually looked at the manual last night. Do you remember in my review when I said that the SIM tray was a micro SIM? I was totally wrong about that. It is a nano SIM tray, and it's below the micro SD card slot, which is where I was accidentally trying to put my nano SIM. So I was able to get the SIM in there last night, but I was not able to get Gen Mobile to work on it. I knew that I had the SIM correctly installed because the manual tells me which way to put it in, and also I was able to receive a voicemail on that phone, which is really weird because I was not able to make calls or receive text messages, so I was very bummed. Also, an update on the Unihertz Titan. I am returning the phone because Prime Day is coming up. Need a little more money, and I decided that the cons outweigh the pros on this phone. First of all, it's just too wide and way too heavy. I don't like being able to put it in a pocket or a purse. Trying to carry it around and taking it with me to places that I normally go, either in the house or outside of the house, was a bit of a pain. And the keyboard is a portrait keyboard, not a landscape keyboard, which made it too cramped for me to type on. There is a reason why I got the bigger phone instead of the Titan Pocket. Titan Pocket would definitely be way too cramped. If that bigger portrait keyboard was cramped, then the Titan Pocket would be way too cramped. I also don't like the ringtone system and notification system. As you guys could see, they copied Apple and Huawei and all sorts of other phones on the ringtone system, which isn't as much of a deal breaker for me as this, the Kika keyboard. Absolutely inaccessible. I could not get symbols on the QWERTY keyboard because it's not a full QWERTY keyboard. And so trying to use the Kika keyboard to do symbols, if I double tapped or press and held and then let go on a symbol on the Kika keyboard, it did nothing. And so that is absolutely a deal breaker for me. I also don't like the way that it handled Google voice typing dictation. Number one, it did not allow me to switch to the Gboard. That's definitely a deal breaker. Number two, while I was able to switch input methods from the Kika keyboard to Google voice typing, it blabbed in the middle of what I was trying to dictate. So then Google wouldn't catch it, and it would do like an error tone, and definitely a deal breaker for me. Absolutely a deal breaker. The other thing that is a definite positive of the phone is the back end recents buttons being actual buttons. But a negative is I do not like that capacitive home button that doubles as a fingerprint sensor, because you remember in my initial impressions, I accidentally bumped it and the fingerprint sensor activated. So I also accidentally bump it when trying to reach that back and recent key. I overshoot a little bit and I go home instead of being in that text field that I was just typing that text message in. I was like, grr, that's a pain. Ugh. So the other positive going for the phone is that programmable button. I love being able to call up Google Assistant from that button. It is absolutely convenient because I'm not one of those people who likes to say the wake word for some reason. It just, most of the time, it doesn't work when I say the wake word. So it's better to call her up either by pressing and holding that capacitive home button, which I accidentally did several times, and then calling her up also by using that programmable button, which is what I did most of the time. Let's see, what other things do I not like about the phone? I don't like the way that it handles certain apps. Signal blabs at me when I'm trying to do a voice message. Live 360 notifications come in. Half of the sound plays and then it gets stuck. And then the other half of the sound plays. Like 60 seconds later. I don't know. I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's like that MediaTek processor can't exactly handle Live 360 as well. What other apps doesn't it handle as well as I like? GroupMe does not allow me to choose a notification tone. It makes me choose a ringtone, which is really odd. That's definitely not the biggest deal breaker here, though. The heaviness of the phone and the bulkiness of the phone and just the fact that I would rather have a phone that can dictate because it's just so much faster than typing on that keyboard. I just couldn't get used to the cramped keyboard, which also means I will not be reviewing the BlackBerry Key 2 as originally thought. So those are my thoughts on the Unihertz Titan phone, which is why I tried to put my SIM in the Smart Vision and I was very disappointed. I just couldn't do it. So anyway, that's all for today, folks. I will see you later, Technogators.